Welcome back, my beautiful people. Welcome back to another video of the Nerd Out. Hey, guys, we got some big news today. We got some great news. Something that I saw on my phone and it just put a big smile on my face. Champagne Poppy, Drizzy Drake. He's dropping another album, man. You know what? I'm such a huge fan of his. And just seeing stuff like this, seeing that he's keeping the fans fed with good music, man, it just makes me happy as a Drake fan. Like seriously, like he's been dropping lots of good music back to back, and I know that might be controversial for some people because let me recap for some of those that don't know. Let's go all the way back to September 2021. Drake, he drops this album called Certified Lover Boy, and I remember a lot of people were hating on that album because they say it's a little bit too sporadic, it's not cohesive. You know, Drake starts getting into this melodic R&B bag, and people were expecting more of a cohesive rap album with a theme. You know, they were expecting a concept album, and that's not what they got. They got something completely different. They got something more like a playlist. That's what Certified Lover Boy was. And for those of you that don't know, I love Certified Lover Boy. I love that album. It was like a great introduction to Drake's music because yes, that is the first Drake album that I heard. And I still play that album till this day. Songs like Champagne Poetry, excellent. Songs like Way Too Sexy, I know they get memed out and a lot of people dislike that song, but I'll be vibing out to that song. I really like that song. And you know, then there's stuff like Race My Mind, which I absolutely love. And there's like so many great songs on there, and I know it's sporadic, I know it's all over the place, I know he starts rapping on some of the songs, I know he starts singing on some of them, I know he's hype on some of them and kind of sad on others, and I get it can be a little bit too confusing, you know, when you're going to a song like you have his Heartbreak, which is like an interlude and it's romantic, it's slow paced, it's kind of beautiful and melancholic, and then all of a sudden you're like, no friends in the industry, you know, going to that hype track where you're meant to like bob your head to it and kind of jump. And I understand why a lot of people criticize Certified Lover Boy, but I love that album, right? And then we go fast forward to a couple of months later, and Drake out of nowhere just announces that he's gonna drop another album called Honestly Nevermind. And I feel like people were ready to hate on that album from the get-go. But I remember I was right there, 12, it was midnight, and I heard it all the way through, and I was just in love with that album. I love the fact that Drake was doing something different, and he really got out of his comfort zone, you know? People kind of want Drake to go back to that rapping style, that old school style from Nothing Was the Same, which is my favorite Drake album. They wanted him to go back to that If You're Reading This It's Too Late style, which is, you know, some of his older work. And to be honest, I get why people want that stuff. But I personally, I want to see what Drake wants to make. I want to see what he's coming up with in the studio. I don't want to see anything that the media wants. I want to see what Drake wants. I want to see what he'll do creatively. And I loved Honestly Nevermind. It was like my introduction into house music and dance hall, and I loved it. I will admit, my favorite songs on that album are the hip-hop songs like Sticky, Song of the Album, Song of the Summer, man. That's the best song on the album. That song was amazing. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if everybody hates on it. I personally love that album. I respect your opinion if you don't like it, but I love it, right? And then, Drake, Poppy, Champagne Poppy, he comes out of nowhere and he announces a collab album with 21 Savage for my birthday, November. And that came out last year. That came out a couple months ago. It's been like 6, maybe 7, 8 months since that album came out. I even got the CD right here. Hold up. Check this out. Yes, sir. Looks nice. We got it in the back over here. We got it. Oh, that looks clean. I love this album. This album means a lot to me, man. It came out at the perfect time. And I love Her Loss. Her Loss is a great trap album. I feel like it was needed. And while yes, it does feel like more of a Drake album than a 21 Savage collab album, I can't complain. It was banger after banger. Now, what happens next? Because Drake's been busy. He's been keeping us fed with the music. Like he really has been cooking. He's been feeding us, right? So I feel like a lot of people were expecting Scary Hours 3 like the 3-pack songs. And honestly, I like that idea. But I feel like Drake just needed to give us some time before dropping something else. But then I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? If he drops again, I don't care. Like, give me all the Drake music, because I'm like a huge Drake fan. I love Drizzy, and if he decides to drop twice a year, 3 times a year, I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna be there every single night, every single Friday night, just listening to whatever he has to drop. So let's go over it. He dropped this announcement. I have it right here on my laptop. I made an album to go with the book. They say they miss the old Drake. Girl, don't tempt me. Zesty as hell, but I love it. For all the dogs. So he explained that this is gonna be dropping with his poetry book that he worked with another artist. The poetry book is called Titles Ruin Everything, A Stream of Consciousness by Kenza Samir and Aubrey Graham. So the album is titled For All the Dogs, and it's coming along with a poetry book. Now, I don't know if that's gonna tie into the creative decisions that Drake's gonna be making with this album. I don't know if it's something he was planning since way before Her Loss. Probably was. But either way, man, I'm hyped for it. I'm super excited. I used to be a certified lover boy, but honestly, never mind. It's Her Loss. This one's for all the dogs. All that being said, I can't wait for Drake to drop this album. Hopefully it'll come out soon. And yeah, man, I hope y'all feel this excitement that I'm feeling right now, because I love Drake. I love his albums. That whole Certified Lover Boy trilogy, whatever you guys want to call it, I loved it, and I'm here for it, man. I'm super excited. So with that being said, my name is Pablo Mendez. Thank you for watching, my beautiful people. This has been another episode of The Nerd Out. And yeah, I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.